Ba, ba, ba. What's happening, everybody? It is Thursday night. Time for another episode of Thrifty Business. I'm your one host, Vegas J, and with me this week is my producer, my buddy, my part-time co-host, Debbie from Vacaville.
Hi, everybody. Happy to be back.
What's going on, Debbie? How are you, dear?
I'm good. I'm good. My husband's not so good, but that's okay. He'll get better. I'm good.
We'll send him good vibes, and let's get right into our first segment, and then we'll introduce our guest. Time for Jay's Tiki Talk. Each week I drink a different rum out of a different tiki mug, and I try and match it up to our guest. So our guest this week is the one, the only, Pam McAllister. How are you, Pam?
I am good. How are you? Hi, Debbie. Hi, Jason.
Now,
Hello.
let this be a lesson to all guests. You know, the host looks fondly upon sending me gifts of rum, and this rum came directly from Pam. And this is Smuggler's Rum, made in the Connecticut Valley Distillery. Connecticut is where Pam lives.
Nice.
A very small batch handcrafted silver rum. It's very good. And so today I was saying, you know, I don't have any Connecticut tiki mugs. I don't have any mugs called Pam. And Pam said, you have a Yoda mug? I like Yoda a lot. So
yay!
My Connecticut rum in my Yoda mug. Now, this is made by Geeky Tikis, and we've talked about them quite a bit lately. I've become friends with the guy that runs it or owns it, Brandon. He's the one that's working on a Golden Girls tiki mug set. So
cool.
Wow.
And I saw sneak peek of upcoming things that I can't talk about, but all I can say is if this is the kind of thing you like, wait till you see what's coming.
That's going to be awesome. Well, I'm drinking a co-host. We don't get rum sent to us. So I'm having wine in my Haley Tiki. Did I say it right? Holly Tiki mug that my awesome friend Jason gave me because look, it matches his tattoo. You're on show. Can you show it? Or am I looking at the wrong?
I did. You didn't click on me, but I did. Don't worry. It's
see,
being shown.
See, it matches. Okay, yeah, I have wine.
And Pam, what are you drinking this evening?
I am drinking water from my Frankie's Tiki mug.
Ooh.
And hey, Pam, who's your buddy right next to you there?
This is my llama tattoo, and he's drinking from his own tiki mug, and he's actually drinking hair of the llama.
I love it.
With mango rum, coconut water, pineapple juice, and Riesling.
Ooh.
I gotta say, he's our first llama on the show, so cool.
Welcome.
All right, Pam, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We'll see you about half an hour. Have your pants on, and don't be picking your nose.
My pants, really?
Maybe
only if you want to.
Bye. Bye. All right, let's get right to it, shall we, Deb? Time for. Oh, come on. There we go. Our scores of the week, where Debbie and I will Debbie and I will honk a little clown horn. Debbie and I will show you the great things we sold this week. These usually are BOLOs. BOLO stands for be on the lookout, things that you should be looking for in the thrift store.
Yes. Oh, I love this book. My kids had this book when they were little with the cassette tape. This one doesn't have it, but if you ever find this book, grab it. This one sold for full price of $75. It's a pop-up. It opens up, and it's a definite BOLO, and it's not even Christmas yet, and I sold it. Probably could have sold it higher. I actually priced it a little higher than others did at the time, knowing that it wouldn't sell towards Christmas. What is this? August, and it already sold. So that's...
Real quick, I just noticed a stranger in the chat. A stranger we haven't seen in quite a while. Hello, Lee in Australia. How the hell are you, buddy?
Lee, hello.
All right, Debbie, you called me out during a class because I said this game doesn't sell anymore. And you said, yes, it does. I just sold it for $69. But what you did mention was this is a better version of the game. The one I showed is the version no one wants anymore.
So I can't remember, was yours, because I think there's a pink box, a yellow, maybe
mine
a blue.
was the pink box one.
And I think there's a blue, but I just thought, what timing? It just happened to sell.
Go ahead. I muted Bridget. Bridget's hopping in to say hi for a second.
Oh, okay. So it sold. It sold. So once in a while, this was my daughter's favorite game when she was younger, so that's why I always look for it. But it is a slow seller. However, I saw it sitting on the shelf. I looked at it, and I thought, you know what? It's time for you to go. And it agreed. It's out of here. Books. This set sold for that asking price of $209. Thornton Burgess is a good children's author to look for. It is the time of year for books. I've sold a lot of books this week, and it's back to school, homeschool mom. So who knows, if that's why she bought it. But these little books, that's what I teach. When I see a set of books, I get so excited because to find them one by one takes forever. But when you go into a thrift store, a garage sale, estate sale, and there's a whole set, that's many.
So one picture tip I would probably give, why not take one of them out, turn it facing forward, and sit them on top of the rest of them? It'll give it a nice more square, and it'll show one of these graphics really nice.
Yeah, you're right. I was just being quick and lazy.
Just a thought.
Oh, this is an interesting book too. It's the first edition library, FEL. It is sealed. A friend gave me some books like a couple years ago, and this one just sold for $159.99.
I will tell you, Deb, on this picture, when you sent me the link, I was looking at the people who are selling this book right now on eBay. And one person, this is their opening shot. This is not a good opening shot.
Yeah.
For a book. Because think about people shopping on their phone. That ain't going to look like nothing.
Right, especially because they had to crop it down.
Yeah. So good job. Yes. All right. Before we get to mine, Bridget is here for a reason. Let's see if the echo is gone. Hello, Bridget.
Oops. Hi.
Hi, Bridget.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So the reason Bridget popped in to say hi, everybody, because today, August 30th, is the Thrifting Board's 3rd year birthday anniversary. What do you want to call it? Yay! So Happy 3 years ago, there was about a dozen of us that started this new group called the Thrifting Board, and 2 of the dozen are sitting right here, Bridget and Debbie, and probably Pam at the time. And now here we are 3 years later. When I made the graphic earlier today, we were at 51,190 members. I'm sure we're a few higher now. Let me take a quick check. 190. Cool.
Wow.
It is amazing to me how much it has grown in just 3 years. And they keep coming. They keep coming. It's 1,000 every 3 weeks to a month. It's just absolutely amazing. And so I wanted one of the lifeguards to hop in, and for a couple reasons, so they can add their 2 cents, but also so I can say thank you. So right now, Bridget, you're representing the whole team.
Oh, yay!
So, and I said this earlier today on a Facebook Live. Without the lifeguards, and I said last night, I was on my friend's rock radio show here in Vegas. Without the lifeguards, none of this would be possible. I was in another group, a glutton for punishment that I am. I saw a friend post another group, and I know his post was going to cause issues. And there was so much negativity and people being jerks and misinformation that would just never be allowed in our group. And that's why I love our group. You're going to get the quality information, the correct information, and it's all because of Bridget and the rest of the team. So thank you, Bridget.
Thank you, lifeguard.
Thank you.
51,000, isn't that like a rock concert size?
Oh, that's 2. I mean, arenas hold 20,000, so that's 2 and a half rock concerts.
That's a stadium concert size.
Yes, that is a stadium concert. So if you've ever been to a Kenny Chesney stadium show, a little reference for Bridget. That's
like Foo Fighters would probably have 52,000.
So Bridget, I almost spilled my drink.
Oh no, don't waste it.
So, Bridget, I want to thank you for being there from the beginning. I want and that specifically, but to all the admins and all the lifeguards, thank you for helping every one of these 51,190.
You're welcome. It's a labor of love, but we love what we do.
And we love you.
And we love what we do because we see all your
me too.
successes. That's the best part. Watching people buy $30 jeans and sell them for $3,000 is amazing.
I remember
wish
the
that would happen
time.
to me.
Remember somebody sold a couple little rolls of wallpaper border and she said, I was able to pay my electric bill this month and keep my lights on because of what she learned in the thrifting board. And we were all crying.
We hear that a lot. We get that a lot. And then there's, people that are able to go buy a house. I'm like, well, go from the
Or-
electric bill to the house. That's awesome.
Or a car.
Yeah,
Yep.
or a car. I'm having
And
several people buy cars.
Lee, who's in the chat from Australia, this is his sole job, and a lot of it's from what he's learned from the thrifting board and the Secret Beach. So it's and not everyone does this full time. Some people just do it for a little fun money, but like my folks kind of. So
Yeah.
no matter what you do it for, I thank you for being part of Thrifty Business and the thrifting board, and those of you in the Secret Beach. And here's to 3 more, and then 3 more, and then 3 more, and then 3 more. So it's kind of cool that our 30th anniversary was on a show night. So
Perfect.
Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool.
and real quick before we say goodbye, how you feeling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today it was probably I was telling my husband today I've probably felt better than I have all summer, but I might have overdone it.
Uh-oh.
'Cause I felt good.
Naughty, naughty.
Nope.
I
That-
know.
Are you glad you had the surgery? I'm
Oh
glad
my
you had
gosh.
that.
Yes. I am so glad I had the surgery. Yeah.
And the
I'm
way
glad I
your
didn't
eyes
listen to
lit
all
up
the
tells me,
people.
yes, you really are glad. You're like, wow.
Oh yeah.
It
I'm
was
so
bad.
glad I didn't listen to all the people saying, no, don't do it. No, don't do it. Because the pain that I was experiencing before is nothing
Tell our
or was
viewers-
terrible compared to what I have now.
Tell
Yeah.
our viewers who might not know, what kind of surgery did you have?
I had a discectomy. I had a herniated disc and it had herniated and was pushing against the sciatic nerve. So it was just sitting on the sciatic nerve, but then it also broke off. So I had little fragments that were playing pinball on all of the nerves in my lower back. And it was L5S1. So it was the worst possible spot in terms of walking and sitting and whatnot. And it was terrible. And I dealt with it all summer because I thought, oh, it's going to get better because it has in the past. That disc has gone back up in there. But once it herniates and fragments, you're screwed.
No. It's toast.
So, yeah. So my neurosurgeon, I did go to a neurosurgeon. I didn't let anybody else cut on me. And he said, we've got to get in there and get those fragments out or you're going to do more nerve damage and that'll be irreparable. So I think the pain that I've had for the past week is those nerves finally going, oh, hey, we can wake up now.
Party. Let's have a party.
Yeah. So, but that's why you see a laundry basket in the background and,
Hey, girl. It's all good.
the house is,
Take it easy
is
here. And I see we have 3 more lifeguards in the chat. So thank you, Christine.
Oh, cool.
Thank you, Angela. And thank you, Mary. And thanks to all the lifeguards and all of you. It's been a fun journey, and the journey has just begun. So thank you, Bridget. Take care. And thanks for popping in
All
tonight.
right.
And
Bye.
I like to give a special thanks out to is it CJ? She is so amazing.
CR?
CR. Sorry, CR. CJ's my Disneyland friend. CR. She knows everything about everything. So thank you, CR. You rock.
All right, cool. Well, happy birthday, Thrifted Board members. And let's get back to the show. Thanks, Bridget.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right. So this is to show you that you can just buy shit at the Disneyland gift shop and you can make money. I bought this a couple years ago for $25 and I sold it for $90 and plus shipping. So,
Nice.
I was just out of room. So I had to move some stuff out that wasn't as good as the other stuff. And there it is. All right. Pay by numbers. We always tell you, especially Mom and I tell you, pay by numbers. This little set was 2 standard poodles. I paid $5 for the set, $65. And I got the feedback today. Better than expected is what the feedback was. So they love. Oh, and well packaged is what they said.
Nice.
Another little tiki thing. I was at a special event. And I know most of you aren't going to go to special events, but just to show you, you can go to special events and other things too and do some flipping. This mug at the event last month was $55. And within a month, I sold it for 3 times what I paid, $150.
Nice.
Plus shipping. And I had this Lee Storm Rider denim jacket. It's not as exciting as some vintage Levi's jackets, but still a great little jacket. I paid $7.99 for it. It was listed for about 3 weeks and it sold for $54.
Nice.
And then I usually show my best CD of the week. This one is Bob Moore. Really don't know who Bob Moore is, but here's what I do know. I paid $6 and I bought it at a record store and I sold it for $50 plus shipping. And now that I've started to list my cassettes, it's time to talk about cassettes. So I paid $25 for this Beastie Boys cassette. I listed it and it sold the next morning for $28 plus shipping. So we're going to be talking a lot more about cassettes coming up in the near future. But not everything's a winner, is it, Debbie?
No, it's not, sadly.
Time for our duds of the week. Do not let our mistakes be yours.
Okay, so it looks like it's over 21, but I think we accepted the best offer of $12. It kind of sat around. I got so excited with soccer in San Francisco, but $12 and it's finally out of here. So I thought I'd give it.
It's out of here. See ya.
Yeah, and same with this. I mean, I really can't call this a dud, except that it stayed around for like 3 years, and I think I have another one too. So Disney, it sold for $19.99, so it may not seem like a dud, but when something sits for so long, I start to feel like it's a dud.
Well, yeah, true. Speaking of, mine was a coffee mug too. I thought it'd be cool. A lot of tech stuff usually does well. This IBM Center for Microsoft Technologies. I thought that'd be like a cool tech thing, and it sat forever. And then someone offered me $9 plus shipping, and I'm like, hell yeah, get it going. I only paid $1, but you know, I would have liked it for more money. And then I previewed my other dud today on a little live video I did in the Thrifting board. You would not think that this Margaritaville Surfing Club officially branded 3XL t-shirt would be a dud, but it is, because what I failed to notice, the 20 holes in it.
Oh my.
Those are all holes, and there's more.
Was that a moth festival?
I don't know, but how I missed that. And then my assistant took pictures, and we didn't notice until we started listening. I'm like, you didn't notice that when you were taking pictures? So be careful when you're buying stuff, because if you don't pay attention, you're going to get 20 holes in your item.
That's why I like to hold them up at the thrift store and see if there's any light shining through.
Yep. All right. You've seen our scores. You've seen our duds. Now it's time for where in the world did our stuff go? If you are not shipping internationally, you are leaving out 7.3 billion with a B potential customers. And yay, Debbie had an international sale. Yay!
Finally. It's been forever. Jason said, are you sure your settings are right? And then we were getting ready for the show, and I sold one. This book, Afterlife. Yeah, that's not the best picture, but didn't have a desk, a dust jacket or anything. Paid $1 at a garage sale, and it sold for $35. And it went to Telford, United Kingdom. Yay!
Yay! And you know, who's a fan of the Wu-Tang Clan? Wu-Tang, Wu-Tang. Well, apparently someone in Cape Town, South Africa needs some Wu-Tang jeans and a Wu-Tang t-shirt, because that's where my stuff went this week. And funny enough, as I was prepping this slide, I sold another pair of jeans to another far-flung country, which we'll talk about next week. So very funny. I'm actually prepping this slide, and I sell a pair of jeans to another country that we don't normally sell to. So
can I borrow that sale, so next time if I don't have international, I can claim it? Did you sell those together? Was that like a lot?
Yeah, the shirt was a mistake. It was a modern shirt that no one cared about, and I already had the jeans, and I'm like, you know what? Just throw it with the jeans. It was a dud. It wasn't worth anything, but I thought maybe it'll make it more attractive. So, and I had them on sale, but with the shipping, I charged a little bit more than it actually cost. So I made a nice little profit on these two.
Great job.
Jersey Jane, nothing to mess with. I miss ODB. Rest in peace, ODB. And pour out my malt liquor. All right, now it's time for our Thrifty Tip of the Week. Little tips and tricks to help you when you're out thrifting. This segment is brought to you by Stamps.com, postage on demand. Print out your own postage at home with a computer, the internet, and a printer.
Yes. Always carry, the little fold-up bags. I have this tiny little one that someone gave me once, and this thing opens up and it's really big, and I keep this in my purse. So get some of these bags. This is a listing off of eBay, and they fold up, and keep them in your car. If maybe wear cargo shorts or cargo pants. You got pockets, because when you go to estate sales, if you take all your stuff and put it in a corner, people think it's fair game. But if you can put your stuff in these little bags, and protect it, or they might not have bags to give you to walk out with. See how big this one opens up? Isn't this cool? Now I have this nice big old bag, and this thing fits in my purse. And some thrift stores, especially here in the Bay Area, they don't even give you bags anymore. I don't even think you can buy them.
Oh, I know. But
so you got all this stuff to get out to your car. So always have some backup bags to fill.
excellent tip. Boop. All right. So mine is kind of like the t-shirt dud. Really pay attention. So we didn't know. I was teaching my class in Seattle. We didn't know what these were called. And so y'all in the Thrifting Board are amazing. The second I popped the picture in, you're like spaghetti cats. We looked them up and we saw they were selling for, this one by itself sold for $65. And these two were like $7 each. Boom. We were on it. Someone from the class was going to take them home. And luckily, I looked a little bit closer. So the key for both my dud and this segment is pay attention. Because these cats have so many interwoven pieces, they were both broken and glued back together. And at just casual glance, I never noticed. And I was going to have someone from the class take them home. I would have felt horrible if they would have got home and found all the breakage. But luckily we noticed. But it's a little bonus tip. If you see these type of cats and they're not broken, they're good pickups for sure. But just be very careful when you're looking at things, especially that have a lot of pieces to them. Look close. The one cat, the head and the ear were all broken and glued back together. The one had the leg ripped off and glued back on. So at that point, it wasn't worth it. But just be very, very careful.
And even if you have to take it to the window, the sunlight, I had a little ceramic purse listed once. It had bids on it. For some reason, I held it up by the light of my window and I saw a crack in it. So I contacted all the bidders and people backed out, but the gal that got it was so happy with it. So
that's awesome. All right, now it's time for You Have Got to Be Shipping Me. Little tips and tricks, what to do and what not to do when it comes to shipping.
Okay, I don't know if you're using your custom labels. This is one of my listings. See, I have office shelf, so I know where it's at, shelf number 1. But I also, some items, not everything, especially ceramics and things, I pre-box them, or I know how I'm going to box it. So I put in there, it's going to fit in a 9x6x2 box. So when we pull it, we don't have to sit there and figure out what we're going to ship it in. If it's a mug, you probably know you're going to FOMO it, so you may not have to put that in there. So anything that you know ahead of time, what box size, and maybe even where that box is, anything to help shipping quicker and help you find all your supplies quicker is a great help.
Absolutely. I don't use the custom label field enough, so but I will start using it. All right. So now I'm going to tell you one more dud of my week. I guessed at the weight of this shirt and excuse me, this jacket, and I also did not alter the shipping cost internationally when prices went up this year.
Oops.
So yeah, I guess it's around 2 pounds. It was over 4, and it went to Canada. So over 4 meant it had to go priority. So I ended up eating $20 on shipping. So goodbye profit margins. They went bye-bye. So my tip is don't guess at weights. And I usually just truck on when shipping rates change. I usually just truck on, and smaller weight stuff. It won't matter that much, but of over 4 pound item, it will matter. So make sure you're really paying attention. Don't ever guess, because typically when you guess wrong.
Good idea.
All right, now it's time for our eBay tip of the week. Little tips and tricks to help you along your eBay journey.
Okay, I hope you can follow my beautiful graphic here. I was in, the eBay app. When you click on for search, there's a little camera. See my little red arrow there? There's a camera up there. When you click on that, this page is going to open up, and you can take a picture. I saw this green bowl in a thrift store, so I did the app. I had to kind of fake it to look like, it's real. So I took a picture, and the exact one popped up. With the keywords, with the price. I decided not to buy it based on that. And not always do you get the exact same item. Sometimes it's kind of close, but use it whenever you're in the thrift store and you're like, what the heck is this? What's it worth? Because for me that day, it was perfect, spot on.
All right. You ready for my tip?
Yeah.
You can buy forever stamps cheaper on eBay than in the post office.
What?
So forever stamps cost 50 cents right now. So a roll of 100 would be $50. So here's 200 that I just bought for $85, $15 off. And I've seen them even less than that. I saw a roll of 100 sell for $37 yesterday. So, and you're probably saying, Jay, who uses stamps? I have to mail a few things, a few checks after every month, like to my pool guy and stuff. I got to mail it. So I need a few stamps here and there, and you can buy them cheaper on eBay than the post office. So never, ever buy a roll of stamps at the post office ever again.
But now how do you know those are not counterfeit? Sorry, I had to ask.
Well, I can't imagine if they were. I can't imagine counterfeiters would have the whole little wrapping thing around them. Nor would they last too long on eBay being counterfeiters. And they've got, the seller's got 7,000 feedbacks.
Nice.
So,
I think you can get them at Costco too, but I didn't think the price was ever very good at Costco. So this eBay's better.
Like I said, if you watch for auctions, like I said, I saw a roll of 100 sell for $37. So it would have saved $13.
Now, I wonder if one of those eBay coupons would work on that too.
Oh, absolutely. All right, and now it's time for thrifting outside your comfort zone. You should conquer your niche, but once you're done conquering it, you got to look for other stuff too. So Debbie and I always thrift outside our comfort zone.
Yes. Jason was shocked when I told him gowns and robes are outside of my comfort zone, but I just don't really know what to look for. I skimmed through quick for muumuus and things, but so I bought this. It was a set, the robe set, and it was in my profit pile for a while, but it finally, and I listed it, sold for $39.99, and they paid the first class shipping. So I'm going to start looking for more.
I would say so. Now mine's right here, and I actually need help on mine. So if anyone can help me, please put it in the chat or message me directly. So it is a vintage made in Germany, full-length leather coat. Great leather. Nice. But here's the part I need help on. What animal is this lined with?
Is it rabbit? I would think rabbit, but I don't know.
It's pretty cool lining. And the lining buttons in. This is a really nice vintage coat. Wow. I did pay $25 for it, and I can't find the manufacturer anywhere. It's probably like, a small label manufacturer in Germany. But I thought full length leather. It's got the tie, full line fur. It's worth $25 easy.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
So we got it looks like rabbit from you and my mom, and then Veranda says not rabbit. So there's the fur, and I need some help. And I'm sorry if you're a vegan or an animal lover. I'm an animal lover too, but I'm going to make some money.
Might as well. It already gave up its life for the coat. So.
And then every week we'd like to profile a viewer tip for someone who watches the show after the fact. So thank you everyone who's watching live. And we love you, and we love the ones who watch after the fact who can't watch live just as much.
Yes.
If you watch after the fact, do us a favor, leave a comment down below, a question, a tip, whatever. And if you've not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe down below. Give us a big thumbs up. What's our viewer tip this week, Debbie?
It is, wait a minute, my computer's not working. I had to click on it. Accept best offers quickly. The buyer's more likely to pay right away, and then the next day you can send them an invoice with a message that says it's wrapped and ready to ship, after they give you a cleared payment. So I thought that's a great tip, because sometimes I let them linger. I know a lot of people teach if you let them linger for a while, somebody else may come in and buy it at full price. So it's up to you. What happened to me not too long ago was somebody made an offer on a CD. I wasn't home. My rule is I have to check the item, make sure I have it before I accept the offer. So by the time I got around to accepting it, and he didn't pay, and I don't make a big deal, I wait. But he messaged me and he said, you took too long to accept my offer, and I found the CD from someone else and bought it. So what I did was I contacted concierge, and we worked together so he did not get a strike against him, because I felt it was my fault. So, but anyway, work with your best offers quickly. They want that item now. They're going to move on to somebody else if you don't act quick. Thank you, Cindy, for that tip.
Yeah, thank you, Cindy. All right, a little housekeeping, and then we'll get Pam in here. Next week, Thursday, September 6th. Yay, 2 shows in a row.
Whoa, we're working hard now.
Yes. Who's our guest next week, Deb?
Tim Chapman. I adore Tim. I've known Tim probably for about 10 years. He's a full-time eBay seller, supports his family full-time, probably works about 20 hours, does state sales. This guy rocks. Mr. Customer Service, and he's the nicest guy, so I'm very excited to have him on.
Awesome. All right. Those of you in the Baltimore, Virginia, Washington, D.C. area, my class is coming up in 2 weeks, September 14th and 15th. We got a few seats left. The link is down below for all my classes, so click on that. We do a 2-day class. You do not have to take both days, but if you do, you get a discount on the price. Day number 1 is in the thrift store. We go section by section for 4 hours, talking about the things you should buy, and everything we find that's good, you all get. And we also talk about the things you shouldn't buy. And there's a heavy emphasis on the media section: CDs, cassettes, records, VHS. So much money to be made in media. We definitely talk a long time about how to scan, what to look for. And then the second day is the classroom class where I show you more things to look for, how to take quality pictures, how to write quality listings, how to ship, how to use every priority packaging that the USPS gives you at your disposal. Most people don't. We finally had somebody in the class that knew them all. And we never had anybody that knew them all. I teach you how to use social media to sell more. And I do a lot of live demonstrations. And in between, the night in between, we also go hang out at a tiki bar, because everywhere I teach a class, there's a fun tiki bar. So if you're in the DC, Baltimore, Virginia area, get signed up now. There's a couple slots left. And even less slots left is my Minneapolis class on September 28th and 29th. I have never been to Minnesota, and I am a huge Prince fan. So I'm hoping First Avenue's got some great music while I'm there, because I can't wait to check it out. And same classes, thrift store days, day 1, classroom days, day 2. And there's a kick-ass tiki bar we'll be hanging out in Minneapolis. And the cool thing about Minneapolis is the bonus to every other class. We've got some members of the Thrifting Board of the Secret Beach coming down from the Dakotas, and they're bringing 5 members of their family, 3 generations.
That's awesome.
3 generations. That's going to be so cool to have 3 generations in a class. It'll be the first time that has ever happened. So I'm so excited. So right down below in the description for this show, there's a link for all my classes. Also coming up is Houston, Cleveland, and Miami, Fort Lauderdale. So if you're in those areas, we have the same classes, but we'll talk a little bit more about those when they get closer. DC and Minneapolis are the next 2 on the list. So get signed up now. Do not get shut out. We have a ton of fun. Debbie was hanging out in my Seattle class just last weekend.
Yeah, it was awesome. Just Debbie, you meet the nicest people, and you meet sellers in your area.
Oh, yeah. And Debbie might be at the Minneapolis class if we are lucky. So that is what's coming up. All right, let's get our guest in here, and let's talk about the bins, shall we?
Yes, can't wait.
Hello.
Hey, funny lady. Hang on a second. Let me officially bring you in. Taking a nap. Whatever. Hey, everybody. It's Pam McAllister here to talk about the bins. Yay!
Hello, everybody.
How are you, Pam?
I am doing well, thank you. And you?
I am good. I'm enjoying the rum you sent me. Thank you very much.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Made right here in Ellington, Connecticut.
That's awesome.
So let's get right into it. So Pam, we've been friends for a long time. Been hanging around me. We've been doing shenanigans around the country. Why the bins? What got you into the bins? Why are you the master of the bins?
I don't know if I'd say I'm the master of the bins, but thank you. I do like the bins because of the ROI. You get some amazing return for your investment because you're buying things by the pound. So if you think about it, your typical t-shirt weighs what, 10 ounces, 12 ounces? If it's a heavier weight, you know, maybe closer to 14, or if it's a bigger size. So a lot of times if you've got the pounds, you're paying less than $1 an item. And
that's awesome.
You can't get items at tag sales most of the time for even less than $1 an item.
And what's the by the pound rate near you?
The last time I was in Connecticut, it was 0 to 10 pounds, $1.59 a pound. 10 to 25 was $1.39 a pound. 25 to 50, 99 cents a pound. Over 50 pounds, 79 cents a pound.
Wow.
And all glass was 59 cents a pound.
Wow. Those are great prices.
And we're doing this at a good night, Debbie, because I see Stacy Cummings in the chat. I am scared of the bins. Well, that's what we're here to talk about tonight. But stay tuned with a little tease. We are giving away a pass to Ecom Chicago, so stay tuned. All right, so
and don't pull a Pam.
Yeah.
Oh, what's a Pam?
What I tell people is, look, if you can't be in Chicago October 18th, 19th, and 20th, please don't participate. There's no point in winning if you can't go to Chicago. Right. And Pam did that once. She won and went, oh, I can't go.
But I was going to. I couldn't get the time off from work.
I know. So Debbie, what's your how long you been going to the bins, Deb?
I've only been twice. I'm like 4 years ago or so was our anniversary, and we went to concerts up in Lake Tahoe, went into Reno, and there was one there. So that was our first time. And then we have one in the Bay Area, a huge, gigantic one. So I've only been twice, and they're just not real close to me. We did have a small one not too far away, but it shut down. So I'm a bin newbie too.
And is there anyone in the chat that lives in the Anaheim, Orange area of California? Because I taught a class many years ago at one of the Goodwills down there. And next door was the bins. I didn't realize the class was over, but we wandered. Oh, no, I think I taught it actually at Savers, and we all wandered over to Goodwill just as a bonus. And they had bins, and man, there was good stuff. And it's one of those bins that I keep forgetting to get back to every time I'm in Southern California. So anyone, so Tina, have you been to the Goodwill bins? And they're outside. So you'll know if you've been there. They're outside under like a big, like just roof, but there's no walls.
Oh, okay. So it's not raining. If it rains, they don't get wet.
Right. But they're outside processing things with forklifts and stuff. So there's no walls to this building. It's just like a pavilion.
That's another great reason for me to go to Disneyland. I can go down there and pay for my pass.
All right, so Tina's been a few times.
What a great
good. They're still there. So, all right. So Pam, are you the first time you went? Were you afraid of the bins?
No, because I think I accidentally walked into one. And I didn't know it was a bin outlet. I'm like, what's going on? Where are all these? There was just stuff everywhere. It was in Baltimore, actually. It was the first one I went to. I was taking my lunch break one day, and I'm like, oh, let's go over to Goodwill and see what they have. And it was this crazy outlet. So I wasn't scared. I was just, taken aback. And, I'm looking at some of the chat and how everybody's saying the prices are different at their Goodwills. And that's like one of my main tips is to know the rules at your Goodwill, because they're different everywhere. The way the Goodwill outlets are run are so different. Even here in New England, the ones up in Maine are different than the ones in New Hampshire and the ones that are in Connecticut. It's all different the way it's run.
So in case you've never been, I just realized we should bring up some pictures. So here's how the bins look. They are actually bins.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go to this one, since there seems to be a lot of people at this open image in the tab. There we go. So tell everybody how the structure works, because no matter where you go, it's pretty much the same structure.
It is pretty much. The bins are usually separated into different categories. There's books, clothing, hard goods, shoes. Some of them even separate them even further down into linens and purses and things like that. And usually the big bulkier items are all around on the sides. Like I said, they're all different. So you'll have to, my other good piece of advice is when you go there the first time, just walk in and observe and look around, because it's really going to take you by surprise when you walk in, because it's not like any other Goodwill that you've been to. There's no nice shelving or hanging racks. It's literally, they're all in these blue bins like you see in the picture, just stuff thrown on top of each other and mixed with everything else that you can possibly think of. And the way they work usually is anywhere between 15 minutes to every hour. They'll rotate the bins in and out. So they'll wheel a bin in and people have time to go through it, and then they'll wheel the bin out. But more specifically, as part of the rules go at the bins, all the ones that I've been to, no matter how they do it, when they roll those bins out, you do not touch them until they tell you to touch them, because you'll get your arm bitten off. If not by the people around you, by the staff. Don't touch the bins until they say go.
Yeah, I thought that was I'm always the guy to be like, oh, don't step over the line. I'll just tip my toe over it. So I remember the first time I touched the bins, I didn't, because some of them have tarps over them or blankets.
They do.
I didn't really do anything other than touch them, and I still got yelled at. I just went, boop, and I still got yelled at. I'm like, oh, they mean business.
You just can't resist, can you, Jason?
No, but it goes to show you, if you want to have a successful bins trip, pay attention to the rules.
Yes.
That's what Pam said. Stand back, observe. The first and only time I took Stacy, she saw the fresh row come out. They took off the blankets. People went like vultures. And Stacy backed up and went, what in the hell is going on?
Yeah, if you've never seen it live and in person, then no YouTube video or description of it can do it any justice. It's pure chaos. In Pennsylvania, the way they do it is they have caution tape around them.
Oh.
They have those orange cones, and they have caution tape all around it, and they have the sheets over the bins, and they bring them all out, and then they take all the caution tape off, and then they take the sheets off, and then they're like, okay, now you can go.
Wow. They're serious.
Oh, yeah. They're serious.
Andrew in the chat says it's WWE meets thrifting.
Just
Sunday,
about.
Sunday. Only at the bin. You touch it, throw it out.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you know it. So let's get into my tips. I have quite a few here, and I know we're already pushing time. So made a little visual.
Oh, there we go.
So number one, we started to talk about this already, is location. Verify the location is actually an outlet, the days that it's open, the hours, because some of them aren't open every single day of the week. I know we want to thrift every day of the week, but not all of them are open. Some days there's special days, discount days. I don't know if you want to go then. I personally don't need a discount that badly to fight that kind of traffic in there. But that's number one. Make sure you check your location. Number two, your vehicle. Make sure you have an empty car or truck. You can ask some of the ladies that have taken the outlet class with me before. They had to make sure they had room to shove everything in there.
Oh, wow.
This one of the first classes I did, this lady bought one of those, like, it wasn't Little Tykes, it was one of the other brands, but it was a big plastic puppet theater that we found at the bins.
Wow.
Yep. So you gotta have the room. And plan to spend a couple of hours there at least.
Yeah. Especially
Especially if it's your first time, you're gonna need to really take it in before you start diving in. Number 4, there is no place to sit unless you're sitting on the toilet.
Oh.
That's it.
I did find a toilet lid in one of the bins once.
Ew, that's gross. But wear comfortable shoes. Make sure that you eat first. Go to the bathroom before starting. And Jason always says this, at least bring some water and or a snack. But your hands are going to be dirty. So you might want to double think that snack.
Hey, Pam, move the list to the other side of you. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Okay.
Because you put work in. We want to see the work.
Yes, you can tell can you tell she's a teacher?
I have to be prepared when you're a substitute teacher. You never know what you're going to get. Number 5, make sure your phone is charged and have a backup battery if possible. And one of the big things that I found recently at some of the thrift stores I've been in is that my cell phone doesn't work inside. So if you're one of those people that's really dependent on your cell phone, make sure you have the service in there, or else you're going to wind up with a cart full of stuff and you're not going to know what to do with it.
Good idea.
Number 6 is stuff. And I'm talking about stuff, your stuff. Make sure that you bring in as little as possible with you to the thrift store. You're going to need both of your hands to be digging through those bins. So I suggest bringing or wearing a crossbody purse or merce if you need one.
That was just asked. Like you guys, like the chat, and you are the. That was just not asked, but someone just who said it. They said wear a crossbody purse. This is crazy.
I can't even see the chat.
Kelly said wear a crossbody purse.
Absolutely. You want to keep your stuff close to you. Sometimes you're not going to be able to be right near your cart. I've read different things. Some places you have to leave your cart outside the yellow line. Sometimes you can't get your cart anywhere near you because there's so many people. So you can't leave your purse anywhere, or else that might be gone.
This would be where wearing the cargo jeans would come in too. You got all those little pockets, and it might make you look kind of tough. Like, don't mess with me. I'm wearing cargo jeans.
Right. And speaking of carts, number 7. The early bird gets the cart.
Oh, ask me how I know about that. Oh, gosh.
I've seen it at so many different places. Some don't even have carts. Right. So if you get there late, you might just be stuck to whatever you can carry.
Are you allowed to bring your own little shopping basket or anything in?
I have not had anyone say anything to me about not having one.
Good to know.
So I usually bring an IKEA bag with me.
Oh, I love those.
Yep. I sling it over my shoulder, and then, I'm skipping ahead now, but just grabbing stuff and putting it in and then dealing with it later. But we'll get to that one.
So hold on. Let me pause you there. Oh, wait. Let me see. What's the last one say?
Oh, no, we're only on number 8.
I know. Show me the last one real quick. I was going to mention. Okay, good. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get to that in a second.
Especially after I loved Stacy's reaction the first time you guys went. So that's why I wrote it the way I did.
Yeah, because people were talking about that, but I'll let you get to it. I don't want to step on your information.
No, that's okay. Number 8, again, I have to stress this. Before you even start, know your bins rules. Because if you can even call and ask them, and they'll tell you. If you don't know and you do something wrong, they're going to let you know, and it's not going to be a sight.
Oh gosh, that's a great rule, a great tip.
Number 9 is just be polite to the other people there. I mean, if you don't go every day and all the time, there's going to be regulars that are there, and they know that you're new. So they're going to try to push their way past you.
Upon you.
And through you. Right. So just be polite. Hold your ground. Don't let them push you around, but don't be nasty. I've had people next to me, and they've been looking for something, or they found part of one thing. And I'm like, oh, hey, were you looking for this? And I'll just give it to them. You know, a little kindness goes a long way.
Good karma.
Right. Exactly. And here's Jason's favorite, number 10. What does it say, Jason?
Gloves. Hold up a little higher.
Oh.
Gloves, gloves, gloves.
You need a Michael Jackson glove on right now.
Absolutely. Gloves are a necessity when you're going through the hard goods. These are the ones that I use. They're nothing special, but they do have, if you look closely, they have a little bit of a rubberized part to them. They're not like your winter mittens. I actually have the ones with a little bit of rubber on them. So in case I do come across something sharp, I have a better chance of feeling it before it slices me open.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
people were asking about gloves, and I should have this prepped, but I'm prepping it right now. I have a little story about the bins. And so people are asking, why do the bins exist? So why don't you explain that, Pam, while I'm getting these pictures prepped?
Oh, good question.
Absolutely. That's the bins exist for a couple of reasons. There's items that don't sell in their store for a variety of reasons. You know, the perfect owner didn't come in and find it. They're overstocked with things. But one of the the coolest reasons why there's the bins is because Goodwill may price those items too high, and then nobody buys them because they're too high, and they've spent their shelf life at the Goodwill store, and so then they get sent to the outlet. So you have the chance to get some really good items for cheap prices because they outprice themselves.
Yeah, so I think some people in the chat, Debbie, are thinking that it's like junk, but yeah, a lot of things are priced too high because, like us, the thrift store is shooting for the moon on some items, and when it doesn't sell, they don't got time to look at each individual thing doesn't sell. They just send it over to the bins, get rid of them.
Here's my little secret. I found my one and only San Marcos at the bins. They used it to cover a big cardboard, what do they call it, a Gaylord of CDs. And I spotted all the way across it's a huge warehouse. And I thought, it can't be. And I went over and sure enough, it was. So there's good stuff
and
there.
Lily asked if it was all closed. No, we already talked about it. It's everything now. So I quickly, the joys of an iPhone, you can look up pictures real quick. So let me tell you a little story about the bins. This is Brian and I filming Thrift Hunters at the bins in Boston. Now, these were the bins of all shoes. And so the first part of the story is while we weren't filming, I reached into a bin and I pulled up a snowboarding boot that was brand new, unused, might have been Airwalk. And I looked at my director who was like 7 bins away. I go, hey, do me a favor, kind of jokingly, find me the match to this boot because I couldn't find the match in the bin I was in. He looked down and went, here it is.
Oh my gosh.
I go, shit, can we do that all day long? Because that was pretty easy.
That's awesome.
So we took this picture, obviously, and then I took this picture of the chaos of the bins. Now, another rule, I don't think Pam mentioned it, typically they don't allow any photos.
No. I got in trouble for that.
Yeah. Well, that leads me to my next story. So 1 year later, after we filmed there and it aired, I'm back at the same bins, and I take this photo, and I don't make a big deal of taking a photo, and a woman comes over, she yells at me, she yells at the employee that was standing next to me, you know the rules. There are no pictures whatsoever. And the employee said, well, I figured it was okay for him since he's filmed here last year. And she goes, oh, is that you? So the woman who just yelled at me is now taking a picture of me.
Oh, that's too funny.
So she went from yelling at me for taking pictures to taking pictures of me. Now, the reason you use gloves is they had one of those whole bins full of CDs, and I'm the CD guy. And so when we were filming, I went through every single CD. But when I got to the bottom, someone had broken glass from a frame, and they didn't know it. And so when I got to the bottom, it was just all shards of glass. So you got to be very careful. Yeah, there's crazy money to be made. So be careful, but go do it too.
Yes, I agree.
And the other reason to wear gloves, that stuff is just dirty.
Yeah, that's
Never mind the fact that you can get cut, but it's just dirty. If you ever do it without gloves, you come out, your hands are just gross. I have to wash them like 10 times before I touch anything else. Just a few more tips. This is another important one. Grab and go. See that? Grab and go, number 11. If you think it looks like it might be something, if it feels like it might be something, grab it, put it in your cart, put it in your bag. Don't worry about looking it up now because there might be 5 other good things there that other people are going to snag while you're checking it out on your phone as to see if it's a good enough item or not. Whatever you are interested in, pick it up, throw it in your bag, throw it in the cart, research it later.
So you can put it back in the bin if you decide you don't want it.
Absolutely. And that's, yeah, definitely.
You don't get in trouble for that then.
Nope, not at all. There is stuff everywhere. There's things that don't belong in the bin that it's in. I mean, it's a free-for-all, literally. Yeah. Number 12. Remember, this is by the pound. Things cost pennies. Seriously, you can get t-shirts for 50 cents. Don't let you've got to be able to weigh the cost versus the item and remember how much you're spending on it. How much do you think you can make? I mean, who wouldn't want to turn 25 cents into $15 or even $10 for that matter? I'll do it every day.
For sure.
Awesome profit. The profit margin is insane.
The profit margin is insane. And that's, again, why I like the bin so much. Number 13, bag it up. Like I talked about earlier, bring a bag so you can easily move around the bins without your cart. And also, as Debbie mentioned earlier, a lot of these stores are not offering bags anymore. I know Savers in our location, they don't give you bags anymore. You have to buy them or bring your own. And that's just regular Savers. So, you know, I can only imagine that the Goodwill outlets will be moving along that same line soon as well.
We didn't get any when we bought 80 pounds. You should have seen our car. We looked like bag people living out of our cars. We had no bags. We had to just shove it all in.
Yeah. Or find a bag when you're there. I've done that before too.
Oh,
a bin. They always have bins. So Dave Ang likes going there. Our friend Dave Ang. If you're watching, hi Dave.
Hi, Dave.
I talked to Dave on the phone today. Hi, Dave.
Oh, good. Dave likes to get clear bins from there because he stores his items in clear bins. So, you know, and they're pretty darn cheap as well.
Nice.
Number 14, it's hit or miss. You're not going to score the big thing that you're going to retire on, most likely.
Right.
Maybe you'll be lucky. Sometimes you find nothing. Sometimes you find a lot. Sometimes you just find a bunch of middle of the road stuff. But the middle of the road stuff is what really pays the bills.
That sounds like just going to the thrift store, though, too. Sometimes I walk in and out with nothing.
Absolutely. So. Absolutely. Number 15. Who, me? Yeah. Look for yourself. Look for your family. Look for gifts. Shh, don't tell them it came from the outlet, though.
I love it. Sorry, no, I don't have a receipt. You can't take it back.
And number 16 for Stacey. Wash your hands. That place is gross. Absolutely disgusting.
All
but
right.
It's fun.
It is. Crazy.
I love that you wrote all the tips out. That is awesome. All right, let's power through your scores and duds, and then we'll give us to Ecom Chicago.
All right.
So be ready, chat.
Here we start.
All right. So click on the link where you see the eBay, and you'll see it big on your screen, so you know what we're talking about.
Oh, gotcha. Yes, these Ralph Lauren jeans, they were up for a year. But I paid $1 for them at a church rummage sale. So I'll take a year to make $30 on it. Yep. This Easton baseball bag, these are super expensive when they're brand new. And if you're still watching, I sold it on you, buddy.
Oh, sorry, Tom.
he tried to fight me for it at the tag sale we were at, but I got it for $5, and it actually sold for not $70, but where is it? $39.95 plus shipping. They paid for shipping.
Nice.
I don't even know who George Winston is, but I saw this box set and scanned it, and it looked pretty good. So that was $2 at a yard sale and sold for $35.
Nice.
And then this is where I thrifted out of my comfort zone because I know nothing about these Nooks and the e-readers and whatever. I've never owned one. So the lady promised me that it worked, and she showed me this, that, and the other thing, and it came with a case and the charger, and it looked good. So I spent $10. She was asking $20. I said, how about 10? She said, sure. And it literally sold less than a week, 6 days of it being listed, and it sold for full asking price for $80.
Nice. Waterproof too.
Yeah.
Not everything is scores. This is one of your duds, right?
This is one of my duds. These are some seriously hideous 80s shoes. They were actually on clearance at Salvation Army for 99 cents when I picked them up, but I figured they were so hideous that somebody would want them. And 2 people wanted them. The first person bought them, and I paid shipping on them, and they returned them because why? They're narrow. You've got to have a tiny little foot for these shoes.
Did you have narrow in the other listing like you do in this one?
Yep. Oh yeah, because I realized after I got it home that it was a very narrow shoe.
They didn't believe you when you said narrow.
I guess not. So I put them up again, and they sold for $22. So it's a dud because I sold it twice, and I had to pay for shipping twice. And I think the first time I sold them, it was before the free return. So I don't think I paid return shipping, thankfully. This one sold pretty quick. It was a super cool hoodie. It had like a lion zipper pull. It was really nice. The person bought it for $25 and obviously paid for shipping. Well, and I paid $4 for it. When I went to package it up, I noticed there were some stains on the sleeve that I didn't notice when I was taking the pictures. So I washed it really quick, put some stain fighter on it, washed it, dried it. Didn't come out. So unfortunately, I refunded the seller the money right away, and I sent them an email and said, hey, I'm shipping this to you. I refunded your money, but I found some stains on it. So you can do what you want with it, but your money is completely refunded.
Nice.
And the person was very thankful and thought it was really nice. And I had to pay priority shipping because it weighed over a pound, of course. But I got great feedback for it.
Nice.
I'm not gonna ship somebody something and hope they don't find the stain on it.
Oh, for sure. They'll find it.
People ask, what about the stuff you find in the bins? But before, we're going to show one of those in a quick second here. Then we'll give away the pass, and then we'll go to the after show. So real quick, tell them about your class coming up here.
I have a class coming to Connecticut on, I put the wrong date on there. Damn it. It's actually,
I'm not the only one that does that.
Really? You're teaching
I did. I was going to have it on the 25th, but it's going to be on September 18th, Tuesday, September 18th at 9:00 in Hamden, Connecticut at the bins. I'm going to help you. We're going to go through it together. If you're scared, I'll hold your hand, literally if I have to. And you also get a Surviving the Goodwill Bins kit. I can't tell you what all comes in there because it's a surprise, but you will get a pair of gloves. You will get a wonderful IKEA bag and some other things that go along with it.
Awesome.
So we meet at 9:00. We thrift at the bins until we can't take it anymore, and then go out to lunch and discuss, what we found and answer questions, whatever else you need to know. So Tuesday, September 18th, 9 a.m., Hamden, Connecticut. I don't know. Are you putting links in the?
I don't have the link in the, but I can throw it in there for those who want to have the fact. And we can throw on the thrifting board too. So come on, it'll be in there.
And I'll fix the graphic.
Now, to show one of the examples of things she sold from the bins, here's one of those examples.
Nice.
Yep. This is a obvious Minnie Mouse hoodie. It was kind of short for some reason. So again, in my description, I said, make sure you check your measurements. And I was on vacation as well when I sold this. And I emailed the person who bought it and I said, hey, just so you know, you're not going to get this for a couple of days. She goes, oh, no problem. No rush. So again, good customer service. But think about this. This hoodie is less than 2 pounds. So it was less than 2 pounds shipped. So it cost me less than $2 and it sold for $40 plus shipping.
Nice.
Now, if you want to see more of those and you're in the Secret Beach, we're heading over to the Secret Beach after show. So those of you who are in the Secret Beach, come on over. If you're not in the Secret Beach, it is opening in September. It's going to be opened with a brand new CD webinar all about how to make a ton of money selling CDs. But right now, right this moment, dun, 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 it is time to give away a pass to Ecom Chicago, October 18th through 20th. Please only participate if you can actually go. I know people like just to win, but please don't pull a Pam.
Don't do what I did.
I was
done
ready?
Quite a while.
This will show who paid attention to the entire show. I am looking at the chat. What is Pam's llama's name? Okay, I'm looking at the chat. I will take a screenshot of the first person who puts the right answer. Who could go? Please make sure you can. Please.
What's my llama's name?
What's your llama's name? She said it right at the top of the show. So we'll see who is paying attention.
Hi, Robin.
Bam, Sandy Brand hits it with tattoo.
She did. Congratulations, Sandy.
And I'm taking a
Way for
screenshot
paying
because a bunch of them are
attention.
coming in.
Yep.
So Marianne had it right. Adele. So Sandy Brand was the first one. So Sandy, if you just message me later, I will hook you up with the free pass.
Congratulations, Sandy. That's
And
awesome.
I know we're going to have some other. I think I'm going to have a few passes to give away at half price too. So we're going to be doing more contests, both on Thrifty Business and in the Thrifting board. So come on over. Come on over. Come on in. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Pam. You rock. Thank you,
welcome.
Tattoo. Thank you, Tattoo, for being part of our contest tonight.
First time we've had a llama.
Yep. And those of you in the Secret Beach, head over to the new link for the after show. And Pam's got a ton more tips for you and a lot more examples of the stuff she bought that sold for a good price. And for everyone else, we'll see you next week on Thrifty Business.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Pam. Bye, everybody.